What's going on, y'all? It's the kid J Nolan here. Hey man, it's Free Game Friday, okay? So what we're gonna get into today is talking about building your music-based business. This is what has completely changed my life over the course of the last few years, and I'm hoping that I can expedite this process to where somebody like yourself can completely transform your life as a musician, as an artist in 12 months or less. What is a music based business? Me, I'm Jay Nolan. I'm an artist, but I'm also the face of a music based business, which means that everything that I do is in service to helping this business thrive. Now, if you're an artist just starting out or you've been around for a while, but you don't really know what you're doing, stay locked in. Starting from zero, most artists are not going to have an in house producer, right? So that instantly hinders your process in creating music. It puts you in an immovable space. So my suggestion is if you're working, if you're selling weed on the side, whatever it is you do, I don't really care what you do to get it. Just don't jeopardize your freedom and your life. Save up about $500. If you could save up about $700, even better. $1,000, you're doing way better. But $500 minimum, right? And what you're gonna do is go find 3 competitive beats on YouTube or BeatStars. Now, when I say competitive beats, I mean you're gonna have to figure out what lane it is that you want to go into. Are you a Griselda type artist, lo-fi boom bap? Are you a trap type of artist? Are you a drill type of artist? Is your music a little bit more complex than the average cookie cutter? Is your music more progressive trap? Whatever genre or subgenre you fit into, you're gonna need 3 records to get started. Of course, you're gonna need more down the line, but just to get started at a base level, 3 records to get you in a good position. Finding beats in this lane should not be that hard, okay? Most producers that are online nowadays, they're selling beats anywhere between $20 to $50 a pop. Some of them are even doing BOGO deals, buy one, get one free. On an extreme end, there's some producers out here that are selling buy one, get 2 free, get 3 free. I've even seen buy one, get 4. So you're going to be able to create those 3 songs at a bare minimum budget, probably less than $100. Straight up. Now that you got the tracks, you're going to need to write 3 songs that you believe will be able to represent you in an authentic way that can also create interest in you as an artist, okay? Which is why they have to be competitive. You don't want to be going into the game with an outdated sound, outdated viewpoint, and you don't want to be the lowest person on the totem pole within your genre. You're going to want to keep live performance in mind as well. When you write these records, you're going to want to make songs that you can go out and actually perform in front of people. Don't get these beats and start writing 200 bars. This is not the cannabis era. You're not doing freestyle videos. That's something you could do at a later time, or that's something that you could do to generate interest. You could rap over industry beats to do that. Right now, we talking about creating actual music to get your music-based business in the startup phase. Notice I said write the records, because at this point, you're going to have to practice. Before you book studio time, before you start wasting your money, make sure that you're practicing these songs every day. I don't care if you're going to work. I don't care if you work double, triple shifts when you get home. Practice those songs 2 to 3 times before you go to bed. Do this for a few weeks. You could do it for a few months if you have to. Learn these songs front and back. And when you practice them, I want you to practice it with multiple tones, multiple vocal inflections, right? Now, this is where you're going to start getting a little bit better as an artist. You're going to learn how to do more with your voice, use your voice as an instrument. This is also going to help you tailor your music for a studio version and a live version. Some people perform their songs exactly how it sounds on wax. Some artists have a completely different tone, a completely different energy when they get on the stage. And you're going to want to try to work that out as far ahead as possible so that you're not working retroactively in the future. Of course, you can always go back and modify the live version of your song, but you want to have a good base to start with. All right, you've been practicing your records. Now you want to start booking some studio time. For average independent artists coming up, you don't have big budgets. A lot of studios are probably going to charge you anywhere between $45 to $75 per hour. Some are going to have 2-hour minimums. Most are going to have 4-hour minimums. So that means that you're either going to have to spend on the low end about $180 for a 4-hour session. On the higher end, maybe about $300 for a 4-hour session. The whole point of you practicing this record is so that when you hit the studio, you're able to record your song quick and easy, so that when you have a 4-hour session, you're not sitting around lollygagging, you're not trying to write, you're not doing a bunch of takes because you keep messing up in the beginning of your verse and you don't know your lyrics. You could go in there, knock out primary main vocals, you can knock out the ad-libs, the overdubs, all of this stuff. And by the time you're done with a 4-hour session, you should be walking away with all your records. Again, that's why you're practicing them so many times in advance. The engineer in the studio is typically going to give you what they call a rough mix of your songs. This is not a version that's going to really be tailored to DSPs. It's not really going to be ready for a release. It's just so that you can kind of listen to it, but you're going to want to make sure that you go in there with that very minimum of 4 gig, 8 gig, flash drive. 32 would be great if you have an external hard drive or a laptop that you could hook up to the system so that they could give you all the stems from your vocals with your track. That's going to put you in the best position so that you can go get a professional mix and master for these songs so that they're sounding competitive when they actually hit the streets. Now, I already know some people out there are going to say, man, you could have took that $500 and got you some home studio equipment. Yeah, that's true. But I'm giving you some tips on how to get better fast, right? So if you have limited studio time, you don't go in there trying to play 2K. You're not bringing all your homies in the studio. You're learning how to use your time wisely and efficiently, which is going to help you later down the line to build your music-based business, right? We're not talking from a creative artist standpoint, somebody that's flying by the seat of their pants, just figuring it out as they go. You're going into this with an objective mindset. This is also going to teach you how to work with deadlines, because as a music-based business, you're going to get very familiar with it if you do it the right way. Boom, you got your songs, you got your stems. Now, sign up on engineers.com. This is a platform that was started by Mixed by Ali, who is the studio engineer for Kendrick Lamar and the entire TDE camp. He created a platform where you can find an engineer fast and easy. They're going to be high quality. All engineers are vetted. They're going to show you their prices to get mixes and masters. You can go on soundbetter.com to look for the same thing. This is where you're going to spend probably about another $200 to $300 to get those songs mixed and mastered at a competitive level. It may not sound like Kendrick Lamar. It may not sound like the Pharrells of the world, the Dr. Dre's, but it's going to be competitive enough to where somebody listens to it in their car. It doesn't sound drastically worse. At this point, you now have the music, but you don't have the marketing tools, right? So on a shoestring budget, you're not going to have enough money to go out and get a photo shoot done. So you're going to have to become best friends with your phone. I'm not talking about swiping on Tinder. I'm talking about learning the camera settings on your phone so that you can start taking interesting photos when you go out in public, start creating some video content for your songs. Me personally, y'all see me, I do content in my home studio. I go out in my backyard. I've done content on basketball courts. When I used to live in an apartment complex, I went to the gazebo in my apartments to create content, whatever I had to do. When I was in an apartment, I went on my balcony and set my mic up and created a performance video there too. You want to get as many looks as you can for this. This is not going to make you a star. TikTok, Instagram, the algorithms are ever changing. It may not go viral. This is where you're just starting to create proof of concept and give people social proof that you are an artist and you're taking your craft seriously, that you're not just rapping in the front seat of somebody's car. When it comes to cheap artwork, a lot of people like to start on Canva. They have album cover templates on there that can be customized. You could put your photos in there. You could change the font. You could change the text size. You could change pretty much anything you want. Just for these first 3 songs, you don't want to have terrible artwork, but you don't need to have the best artwork in the world either. You're just getting this stuff up and out so that you can create a track record so that people can hear what you're about. People can see what you're about, generate interest, and then you can continue to evolve over time and people are going to follow you on that journey. This is very key. Having these 3 songs is going to prepare you to sign up on sites like Fiverr, SoundBetter, Songfinch, wherever you can, to start putting samples of your music and letting people hire you so that you can contribute to their songs, so you can contribute to what they're trying to do. Now you're going to get hired for other projects, right? So now that you spent the $500 on your music, you're going to put yourself in position to make that money back by being paid to be of service for somebody else. Now you're going to create a release schedule for these songs. I would say every 60 days, drop a single. You got 3 records, so that gives you 180 days, aka 6 months worth of content to build. It's give you 6 months of track record. This gives you 6 months of social proof. This is going to be very key. And when you let out all of this creative content, you're just building it up. You don't have to release it every day. You don't have to release it every 2 days, but you want to have some sort of weekly schedule to where people see you in front of them. They know what you do. They're no longer questioning if you're serious about it. They're no longer questioning, hey, you still do that music thing? Nah, you see it. And if you asking me that, I know you playing with me. Next thing you're going to do is make sure that you register these songs with a PRO. You can go with BMI, you can go with ASCAP. I'm affiliated with BMI, but I'm going to say get signed up on ASCAP because it's perfectly free to sign up both as a writer and a publisher at the same time these days on ASCAP. So that means you're going to save even more money. So y'all know I care about you. Tupac cares, and so do I. Now, in order to pay it forward, you're going to also want to make sure that you're crediting your producer 50% on the writer side, 50% on the publisher side. Your song wouldn't be anything without that beat. Make sure you're treating people fairly. Now that these songs are registered, you can start performing these records at open mics. I used to perform at like 5 open mics per month. I was doing 60 free shows a year, but then I learned how to start making money off of those shows because when I performed at the venues, as soon as I got off stage, I would go home, get on my computer, log the performance in, talk about the venue, say where it was at, say who the promoter was, say how many people were in attendance, put my song list on there, every song that I performed, and within a few months, you start generating royalties on those shows. This is how you turn free shows into paid shows, slightly underpaid shows, but the whole goal, like I said, is to create a music-based business. So you're going to need multiple forms of income to build sustainability. Again, you came in with a $500 investment. You're going to want to try to make that money back as fast as possible. This is one of the ways to do that. Also, when you're at these shows performing, make sure that you have somebody to either record those performances or you're recording it yourself. I go to shows and I will set up a tripod and put my phone on that mother effer and do my thing and rock out and chop it up and put it up the same night. You got to have ambition. You got to have your own grind. If you're lollygagging with it, you're going to be in the same place you was yesterday, which means you're not making progress. Showing that you're willing to work, showing that you're willing to go above the call of duty, to go above what your contemporaries and other people that are going to be at these shows are doing, this is going to be a sign for those in attendance to say, oh, this guy is serious. So now you're going to start meeting people that manage, people that run studios, people that have access to studios, people that produce, fellow artists. Right? Now you're getting in the community, you're meeting like-minded individuals, which is the whole point of you being there because performing at these local shows is not what's going to put you on the map. 9 times out of 10, that's not what's going to happen. Plus, remember, you practiced your live show so many times before you even hit the studio. So by the time you hit the stage, it's not going to look like these are your first performances. You're going to be comfortable. You're going to know your songs front and back. You're not going to be stumbling and flubbing lines. This is going to put you ahead of the rest. People are going to come and ask you to come back. They're going to say, hey, you did the open mic tonight. Come be a part of my showcase. Right? So now there's more shows to sign up for that you're not getting paid for, but you're going to get paid for it. And eventually, they may say, hey, man, we got this main show here. We're going to pay you $150. Come do this. That takes time. But the whole point of it is building up social proof. Now, when you sign up for Sound Better, Fiverr, Songfinch, all of these sites, you're going to use those 3 songs as samples of your work so people can hear what you actually sound like before they decide to work with you, right? Because they're going to have their own songs they may want you to feature on. They may have their own beat that they want you to write a song for them to perform. They're going to have their own idea. Some people are going to want you to make dedication songs. Hey, my birthday's coming up. My girlfriend's birthday's coming up. Can you make a song for it? We got an anniversary coming up. My kid is about to graduate from school. All of these things are celebrated with music, and they may want custom songs for that. Not to mention small businesses, ice cream companies, it doesn't matter. Game streamers, podcasts, YouTube channels. Anybody that has a business needs some type of music to represent them because that's the easiest way to market. The goal is to become a go-to person for all of these different types of people so that they can pay you for your skill. This is now going to recoup your $500 and start building you up a budget that you can reinvest into yourself. Now you can start making money and purchase home studio equipment if that's what you want to do. Right? Now you can start buying food and gas out of your music budget when you go out instead of paying from your personal bank account. Now you can open up your official LLC or business entity of your choice and pay for that with your own music money, right? and then you can start paying yourself from your music money so that you can apply those payments towards your bills and your household necessities. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. My starving artist era is long gone. We don't even speak that language. Please don't speak it to me, right? We're not eating that Ruth Chris every night, but I'm not surviving on ramen noodles either. You did. So we ain't playing. Music-based business. So now that you're on the scene, releasing music and networking, you need to make it your mission to find at least one in-house producer that can create 100% original music with you. This 100% original music is going to be your ticket of entry into the sync licensing industry. Now you can create music that's both commercially viable on the streaming platforms and is copyright cleared to be used in TV, film, advertisements, commercials, which means that you're gonna start making even more money. Once you get to this point, you're gonna wanna go to pengameelite.com and check out my sync licensing and royalty collection course. It's only $35. There's professionals out here that are charging hundreds, thousands even, for some of the information that I'm giving y'all. But because I went through every phase that y'all are in, every phase that you're gonna go through, I probably went through even more pre-internet era. I understand where you've been. I understand how the money looks. So that's why I price my things at a fair rate. I want you to be successful at a fraction of the cost that it took me in a fraction of the time. Now, getting into sync licensing will definitely enhance your earning potential, but keep in mind that that's just potential. If you don't respect the trends, if you don't respect the formats and the rules of the sync licensing business, you're not going to progress. But there's plenty of music creators like myself that are earning thousands upon thousands of dollars every year in additional income just by working in this particular side of the industry. There's even some creators that make a full-time living just doing sync licensing and custom compositions for these big media companies. So never limit yourself. I came in not respecting the jingle game. I remember watching Jamie Foxx as a kid with Jingles 2000. I thought that was lame. Let me tell y'all, ain't nothing lame about using your craft and your skill for money. What's lame is being out here for 5-10 years and never monetizing upon your gift. Money isn't everything, but we do need it to survive, and this is how you're gonna get to it. So again, my goal is to help you build your music-based business. You have a talent or a gift, but the gift ain't gonna give you nothing if you don't have anything to offer with it. So in my experience, I've turned everything that I've been through, I've turned all of my success stories, all of my hard times, and all of my hard lessons learned into courses, books, speaking engagements, etc. on top of the sync placements, on top of the songwriting business, on top of being paid to perform. So now you have 6, 7, perhaps even up to 10 different income streams. I do YouTube videos almost every day. That's another income stream. So you got to be smart about what you're doing, and you got to be working intentional. But you can only get there if you see yourself as more than what you currently see yourself as. You're more than a songwriter. You're more than just an artist. You're more than just a creative. You're a business. Every road leads to forming a business. As I said in the beginning, all of these different branches are enhancing your artist brand. They're enhancing the face of the music-based business, which is your artist name and your likeness. How you utilize those things are completely up to you. So now when you actually start monetizing your gifts, you can see that your value does not come from some record label that wants to do business with you. That's great. But what a record label is going to do is they're going to exploit every ounce of your being for their own benefit. You're going to share in it a little bit, but they know more about how to exploit you than you do, which is what they're going to do. Otherwise, you can do all of these things yourself until a legitimate company comes along and wants to partner with you. A partnership is much different than servitude. I'm going to leave y'all with a couple of questions. If you don't have a music-based business, why would you need a manager? What does a manager do? They help a business owner to run the day-to-day elements of that business. If you've never performed, why are you looking for a booking agent? If you're afraid to market yourself in the public, why would you want to hire a public relations person? So now the goal is learn how to do all of these things for yourself, learn what it takes to fill these positions, then you can try to hire somebody to fill them for you. But now that you're experienced, you have a criteria to say, the only reason I'm gonna hire somebody is if they can do this job better than I can myself. I'm not a mindset coach. I'm not a guru. For real, I'm not that smart. But what I do know is the sooner you start seeing yourself as a business and conducting yourself accordingly, you're going to see results a lot sooner than you would if you didn't. Much love and respect, y'all. That's my spiel. I'm signing out. Free Game Friday. Much love and respect, y'all. See y'all later. Peace.